I gotta say, at this point, I've basically abandoned the left entirely. Oh my god, dude. I'm about to just delete Twitter, dude. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. And this one isn't just complaining about some random strangers. This is another one of Darren's long-running series of Never Meet Your Heroes. Another person who really let me down. Stephen King, famed horror and suspense author. I've read almost every single book he's ever written. I've been reading his books since I was 9 years old, and I'm about to turn 30. I love his work, and I will continue to love his work, but as a person, Stephen King's a piece of shit. Because, much like many Harry Potter fans, especially any that might happen to be anything other than a fucking gender communist, I found out that sometimes your favorite writers happen to be scumbag people. You know, apart from their quality work as authors, they're bad people. J.K. Rowling's bad people, and apparently Stephen King is a bad person. So recently there was a train accident. I don't know exactly what the right word to use it for. Basically, a garbage truck had stalled out on train tracks, and a train that was carrying many Republican congressmen to a retreat somewhere hit that garbage truck. There were only minor injuries reported on the train. I believe there were 2 workers in the garbage truck, one of which was critically injured and the other one died on the scene. Republican congressmen, as well as other passengers of the train, rushed out to provide first aid and immediately call for help, get an ambulance down there. And it's just a sad tragedy. Now, Stephen King, who is far from alone in expressing this very, very disgusting joke, basically referred to Republicans being in a train accident as, quote, karma. Keep in mind, no Republicans were hurt, and completely unrelated blue-collar workers were killed and critically injured. This is a multifaceted example of how the left are degenerate, evil people. Sadistic, uncaring, unempathetic, inhuman fuck scumbags. And even people who would normally be nice, when expressing their political partisanship with the left, are absolutely subhuman. Akin to Nazis, to go straight to Godwin's law, that they don't care about human suffering, and they can't even be bothered to find out enough about the incident to learn that the people that they don't like weren't even the ones who were killed. It was just some regular blue-collar guy who died. You have to be a real sick fuck to even go there for an instant. I have never relished the death of a leftist. I think the closest I ever came to it was, I guess, maybe politicizing a couple of them, like the guy known as Russian Deadpool murdering his girlfriend. And it wasn't to say that I relished the death of his feminist girlfriend, nor that I relished his insanity or his imprisonment or the fact that he turned out to be a murderer. The one thing I relished about that case was the example that leftists are liars. All progressives do is lie. They do not practice what they preach, ever. Keep in mind that Stephen King is of that same vein of vapid, useful idiots who don't know shit about politics and just play pure partisanship, completely detached from any facts or anything. They just believe whatever their favorite news propaganda outlet tells them. They're told that, all Republicans want everybody dead. They're all religious zealots, and they're all greedy and protect the rich. Now, this is sometimes the case, but is honestly, the more and more I learn about conservatism, rarely true. Very rarely true. There are certain Republican politicians that I would still fucking sing and dance when the day they died. John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. These are scumbags who need to go. But there are conservatives that I am rather impressed by and support, and rapidly Trump is becoming one of them. But all we know is that there's a barrage of epithets raining on Trump that many people are ready to believe. Never mind that the Russian collusion scandal is a lie. The fucking election stealing was a lie. Anybody who says, but Hillary won the popular vote doesn't know how the Electoral College works. Trump defeated Hillary in an electoral landslide. He took Hillary Clinton took like 1/3 of the states, and of all the states in the union, Trump took 2/3. Oh wait, no, excuse me. God, my math is horrible. God, I should edit this out. Trump basically took 30 states to Hillary's 20. That's what I meant to say. 3/5 of the country went for Trump. Now, if we lived in a dictatorship where the sheer power of population centers like in New York City and Los Angeles were able to just run the country through sheer human numbers, well, that would be a tyranny of specific locations in a very huge country. So fuck that. No, Trump destroyed Hillary in the election, and that's just a fact. Okay, a lot of those states were close, but they went to him. And he's not a racist. I've looked into it. He's never said anything racist. The closest you can come to that is certain lawsuits about housing discriminations that arose in the 80s. That's all you got. That's all you fucking got. Being against illegal immigration does not make you a racist. Stop fucking lying. But to bring this back home, God, because I'm going on a defending Trump tangent, and not everything he does I like, but rapidly, more and more, I'm realizing that Trump is the only guy who's actually doing something good in a very corrupt system that is got as many corrupt Democrats as Republicans at least. And really, it comes down to the neocons and the neoliberals need to fucking go. The corporate scum is on both sides. But you get back to Stephen King, and he just hears Democrats good, Republicans evil. So he's willing to relish the death of Republicans, and then when faced with the fact that he's relishing the death of some rando blue-collar worker who didn't deserve any of his ire, he offers this non-apology where he says, well, I apologize for my distasteful tweet, if, quote, I even need to apologize. Stephen King, you need to shut the fuck up, is what you need to do, because you are an unfeeling, inhuman monster. I know that's not the way you are in your normal life. I know you're perfectly capable of showing human compassion to people, but politics has clouded your mind. It's like the dark side of the Force. The second you enter into political mode, you switch from whatever your normal personality is into a fucking Nazi. It is not okay to relish political violence. It's not okay to relish the death of people just because you disagree with them. That makes you a fucking monster. Now, unfortunately, we live in this world of hyperbole where people don't take me seriously when I use these heavy-handed words because they've been abused at length, as much by the right as the left. Actually, take that back. The left abuses every word into meaninglessness, and the right still abuses words to a wholly unacceptable degree. But make no mistake, when I call you a fucking monster, that means I hold you in the utmost contempt. I think you are absolutely dispossessed of morality, and that your opinion is less than worthless. It is, in fact, to be denigrated and scorned and spit upon. Okay? You are, in a political sense, a fucking degenerate, subhuman freak. Okay, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but I need to feel like I'm getting this across to you, that this is absolutely unacceptable. At all times, from all people. If tomorrow Brianna Wu falls off a cliff or gets killed by some psychopath or something, I will not cheer for the death of Brianna Wu, and I will condemn every single Gamergator who does. Okay, or relishes it, okay? Now, it'd be great if Brianna Wu was out of political consideration because her opinions are less than worthless. However, that does not in any way mean it's okay for any violence or bad fate to fall upon her. That's not okay to think that about anybody. About fucking anybody. If you do, your morals are entirely subpar, and you may very well be an evil person who needs psychological help. I cannot stress this enough that this shit is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable from everybody. No matter who you are. Okay, if you find out some Kristen Gillibrand or something got in a car crash or something, it's not okay to fucking relish that. You find out Hillary Clinton fucking has a heart attack and dies. Well, I won't miss her, and she would be the one who's hardest for me to hold to my principles and not be glad that that fucking demon is gone from the earth. But I wouldn't joke about it. I would say, basically, may her like never be seen on the earth ever again. And that's different from making tasteless jokes about the deaths of innocent people. That's completely fucking different. Because that's an argument based on principles, not on gleefully relishing the death of others. There's a reason why I refer to progressives as sadists, and that's because they take joy from the pain and suffering of other people. And I am not okay with sadism. Part of the reason why all progressives are lying evil scum is because they are almost, to every last man, woman, and child of them, sadistic. And if you engage in sadism, even if you're a conservative, or a libertarian, or a liberal, or a liberalist, or a classical liberal, or a fucking anarchist, whatever the fuck, if you are a sadist, you are evil, your opinion is less than worthless, and you should be fought tooth and nail all the way. Not violently, but your opinions should be fucking spat upon because you are fucking scum. And you make the world lesser every breath you fucking take. But even if you stop breathing, that doesn't mean it's okay for me to take joy in that. Sorry for repeating myself, but I have to hammer this point home. I will not be misunderstood, and I will not fail to stress the importance of this. This is a core value. This is a principle that every human being should hold at all times, and failure to do so makes you a bad person. Period.